I'm just making dinner. No antique or vintage recipe, just burgers and zucchini, but getting food on the table because tonight we're heading downtown to see the Glenn Miller Orchestra. All right, it's zucchini time. I marinated this in some balsamic, some olive oil, and some salt, and that's all. Do you want to tell them about the zucchini story, or should I? So this one time, I sent my husband, who was just my boyfriend at the time, to the grocery store to pick up some things that I wanted to make dinner with. And I put a zucchini on the list. I get home and there's a cucumber in the fridge. I said, "What's this cucumber for? What you making?" He doesn't make things. He thought it was zucchini. "Isn't that the same thing?" he said. Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Joe, what's with your inside out ear? So it's time for me to get ready, and I'm actually going to keep my apron on so I don't get any makeup on my shirt. There are so many things I do that help me achieve a vintage makeup look, but I'm only going to name a few today. I'll save all of my tips for a separate video. But the first of which being is that I define my features. So I really focus on defining my features with my eyeshadow, and I make sure that I define my brows and my lashes. So I use a brow mascara that's tinted from e.l.f. and I use a great defining mascara that really truly separates my lashes. My favorite for this is the Voluminous mascara from L'Oreal. I use their primer as well. I found that the Voluminous from L'Oreal is the best dupe for Lancome Definicils. The other feature I really focus on defining are my cheeks. I use a cream blush for this. You cannot be afraid of blush. And then I make sure my lips and nails match. It's such a classic 40s look. So now it's time to take out my curlers. I literally just had these in for about an hour, but my hair is pretty fine and it really grips a curl well, so here's hoping that it works. All right, so we are headed to see the Glenn Miller Orchestra downtown tonight. We are so excited. We bonded over vintage and stuff and history pretty early on, so it's pretty cool to be able to see them. We just got married, so what a fun thing to do. And we just watched the Glenn Miller story to sort of like prep. But I've been going to see the Glenn Miller Orchestra since I was little, and I'm probably most excited to hear String of Pearls or Gal in Kalamazoo? What about you, baby?
All of them.
All of them. We got our tickets. Yay! Say hi. We're excited. Okay, so we heard String of Pearls and we heard Kalamazoo. And that was the encore.
It was.
We were nervous we weren't going to hear it. Terrible. Hello, so it is the morning after the Glenn Miller show. My husband and I had an amazing time, and in case you don't know who Glenn Miller is, he was a band leader in the late 1930s and early 1940s. I grew up listening to his music in the car and grew up going to some of their tour dates, and this is one of the first times they've been back to Pittsburgh in quite some time, so it was wonderful to have the opportunity to go see them. If you still don't know who Glenn Miller is, you need to look up In the Mood. It's one of the most famous swing songs of all time. You will immediately recognize it. It's been in tons of movies, commercials, everything. Glenn Miller has an incredible legacy. I highly encourage you to watch the Glenn Miller Story with Jimmy Stewart and June Allison. They do a really great job portraying his life, their relationship, so husband and wife, because they made such an incredible team. She was such a muse for him, such a support.